How often have we set out to achieve a goal only to find that because of a perceived lack of control, our efforts were unsuccessful? In such cases, do we blame external circumstances? Or even worse, do we then conclude that we simply were incapable of achieving the goal? If we are not mindful of who has the right and the responsibility to make our choices, then the emotional difficulty of the tasks we face most likely will determine what we choose. When we feel weak, we may make the non-disciplined decision. The path of least resistance can be very seductive. Hit the snooze button. It's too painful to get out of bed now. Left to its own devices, the mind does not always choose the path that will be the most beneficial in the long run. If you are going to a club in the evening, decide in the sobriety of the morning how many drinks you will allow yourself to consume that night. Then, as the evening wears on, see if you can keep the commitment you made to yourself and disregard your brain's seductive invitations to have just one more. The brain tends to seek pleasure above all else. If you do not distinguish between this pleasure-seeking internal voice and the more disciplined agenda of your autonomous self, you are likely to end up repeating many of the choices that you have come to regret. Don't let the tail wag the dog. In reference to our feelings, this familiar saying serves as a reminder of the importance of not letting our emotions determine the choices we make in life. A patient with issues of mood instability is making a clinically dangerous choice when he takes a day off from work because he is not feeling up to it. This so-called mental health day is usually spent in bed or just hanging around the individual's home. Such a choice, the purpose of which is to mollify the pain of the morning, actually can exacerbate the patient's negative mood and create a spiral of negative, unproductive choices. Often, the temptation the next morning to stay home again will be even stronger. When we allow our emotions to determine the choices we make, we tend to yield to our negative emotions and avoid challenges, rather than making disciplined choices reflecting our autonomous values and beliefs.